Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. On the latest episode of SmackDown, Jacob Fatu's relationship with Solo Sikoa took a chaotic turn. The two stablemates, who once stood side by side as an unstoppable force, now seem to be at loggerheads, grappling with conflicts and tensions. This was evident last night when Sikoa's recent actions visibly rattled the Samoan werewolf. For the past few weeks, WWE has been deliberately teasing a potential rift between the two superstars, indicating a breakup is on the horizon. Given their tumultuous relationship, there is a good possibility that Fatu could eventually revolt against the Street Champion. This may mark the beginning of a new chapter within the Bloodline saga. Here are 4 signs Jacob Fatu will soon turn his back on Solo Sikoa. Number 4. Solo Sikoa is no longer the tribal chief. Solo Sikoa's months of dominance came to a halt last month on Raw when he suffered a crushing defeat at the hands of Roman Reigns in tribal combat. Not only did the former North American champion lose the custody of the revered Ulafala, but the loss also dealt a significant blow to his pride, leaving him powerless and vulnerable. With Sikoa no longer the tribal chief, Jacob Fatu seemingly has no reason to obey him, and he is not bound by his orders. The Samoan werewolf could challenge the 31-year-old's position in the group, highlighting the latter's inability to safeguard the Ulafala. As a result, this gives Fatu a strong and credible reason to betray the Street Champion. Number 3. He abandoned Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga after suffering a devastating loss against the OTC on Raw's Netflix debut. The Street Champion vanished into the darkness, disappearing for weeks. He abandoned his loyal allies, Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga, leaving the bloodline in tatters. As the leader of the faction, Solo Sikoa's actions were certainly not justifiable. It may have given Fatu a glimpse of how unaccountable and irresponsible the 31-year-old can be and may have opened his eyes. As a result, the Samoan werewolf may now consider Sikoa unfit to lead the faction. This could ultimately cause him to snap and kick the Street Champion out of the bloodline. 2. Solo Sikoa cost Jacob Fatu the Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Jacob Fatu competed in a huge triple threat match on SmackDown to qualify for the Men's Elimination Chamber. In a shocking turn of events, Solo Sikoa interfered in the bout and inadvertently cost Fatu the big opportunity. This would have certainly enraged the Samoan werewolf, and why wouldn't it? The Men's Elimination Chamber match was the only opportunity for him to get a shot at Cody Rhodes' undisputed WWE Championship. However, Sikoa's actions robbed Jacob Fatu of a golden chance. This could create a massive crack in his relationship with Fatu, which could prove to be his undoing. 1. Solo Sikoa failed to bring the undisputed WWE title back. After Roman Reigns lost the undisputed WWE Championship to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania XL, Solo Sikoa stepped up to restore the family legacy. He was hell-bent on bringing the coveted title back to the bloodline. Over the past several months, Sikoa received several chances to win the championship from Rhodes. However, the Street Champion suffered setbacks every single time, failing to get the job done. It appears that bringing the coveted title back to the family has now become a top priority for Jacob Fatu. With Solo Sikoa failing to achieve the goal, the Samoan werewolf may look to sideline him now that he has arguably become a hindrance for the faction. Since Roman Reigns' temporary absence from WWE, Solo Sikoa has taken control of the bloodline, asserting dominance as the faction's enforcer and self-proclaimed leader. But with the recent addition of Jacob Fatu, a legitimate wrecking machine with an unshakable reputation, cracks are already forming. While Solo believes Jacob is his greatest asset, the warning signs suggest that Jacob Fatu may soon betray him and shake the bloodline to its core. Here are 4 major signs that Jacob Fatu is preparing to turn on Solo Sikoa. 1. Jacob Fatu's growing frustration with Solo's leadership. When Jacob Fatu made his shocking debut in WWE, aligning himself with Solo Sikoa to reinforce the bloodline, many assumed Solo had finally found the muscle he needed to solidify his control. However, it didn't take long for the tension to become noticeable. Solo's leadership is erratic at best, far from the strategic brilliance that Roman Reigns displayed. While Solo is brutal and decisive, his lack of long-term planning has left the bloodline in a precarious position. Jacob Fatu is not just an enforcer, he is a dominant force who understands power dynamics. If he begins to see Solo as reckless, impulsive, or incapable of keeping the bloodline together, he may take matters into his own hands. Backstage moments and in-ring interactions have already hinted at Jacob's frustrations, whether it's Solo barking orders or dismissing Jacob's input. If Jacob believes Solo is leading the bloodline into chaos rather than strength, he won't hesitate to remove him from power. 2. Paul Heyman's subtle influence. Paul Heyman has always been a master manipulator, and his recent demeanor suggests he sees the inevitable clash between Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. Heyman has not been as vocal in Solo's corner as he once was in Roman's, often standing in the background with a look of uncertainty. His hesitance speaks volumes. He doesn't fully trust Solo's ability to lead, and he may be hedging his bets on the more dominant figure in Jacob Fatu. If Heyman starts subtly advising Jacob or treating him as the next true hit of the table, it could serve as a catalyst for betrayal. Heyman knows that aligning himself with the strongest member is the smartest move for his career. If he starts whispering into Jacob's ear, planting seeds of doubt about Solo's leadership, the betrayal may be coming sooner than expected. 3. Jacob Fatu's potential alignment with a returning Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns may be absent for now, but he will return, and when he does, the bloodline structure will change dramatically. The biggest question remains, will Roman reclaim his position without resistance, or will he need to eliminate threats first? If Roman sees Solo as an uncontrollable wildcard, he may decide that removing him is necessary. Jacob Fatu, known for his loyalty to family but also for his fierce ambition, may side with Roman instead of Solo. If Roman returns and sees Solo's leadership as a failure, he could easily manipulate Jacob into turning against his current ally. The moment Jacob aligns with Roman, Solo's fate is sealed. This scenario would mark the true downfall of Solo's reign as acting leader of the bloodline. 4. Jacob Fatu's body language and lack of loyalty to Solo. One of the most telling signs of an impending betrayal is body language. Jacob Fatu doesn't appear to be fully invested in Solo's leadership. While he assists in attacks and stands by Solo's side, there are subtle moments where he seems disengaged or indifferent to Solo's commands. He doesn't react with the same enthusiasm as past bloodline members did for Roman. Instead, he appears calculated, as if he's waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Unlike the Usos, who displayed genuine passion for the family's mission, Jacob Fatu's loyalty seems conditional. He is a hired gun rather than a devoted follower. If the power dynamics shift or Solo shows weakness, Jacob may decide that it's time to eliminate the weakest link. Conclusion: the writing is on the wall. Jacob Fatu turning on Solo Sikoa is not a matter of if but when. His growing frustration, Paul Heyman's influence, Roman Reigns' looming return, and his detached body language all point toward an inevitable betrayal. Solo Sikoa may believe he's in control of the bloodline, but Jacob Fatu's rise is unstoppable. When the moment arrives, it will be the most shocking betrayal in the bloodline's history, and Solo Sikoa will find himself alone in the aftermath. I've written a detailed piece on the 4 signs that Jacob Fatu will turn on Solo Sikoa. Let me know if you'd like any adjustments or additional insights.